Hello everybody, my name is Taylor Green. I'm one of the audiologists here at Audiology Associates.
My name is Rhys, Barber, and the other audiologist here at Audiology Associates.
So this, we've got...
CLMTG! There he is!
And my microphone's actually working today as well. It's turned on, it's switched on, we've checked.
Oh, I was gutted. I had to go through every bit where you spoke. I had to go through the video and cut the video and then boost your audio. So
sorry.
That's all right,
I should have checked before we
started.
started.
It's because he doesn't do it very often these days. I see he's out of practice.
That's it. So there's two patients in this compilation. Both are my patients. Now, this first one was an absolute nightmare, to be honest with you. There was no pressure whatsoever. I was the third audiologist, basically, that has attempted to remove this wax from this patient's ear. She's been to two other practices, I believe.
No way.
So the first one basically sent it somewhere else. They couldn't do it either, and they've said, "Come and see Taylor Green because he's
amazing.
Like,
he's the king of wax removal."
They didn't actually say that. I'm only joking. They didn't. I'm only joking. But no, the reason this was so difficult is just purely how narrow this ear canal is. It doesn't look like it from this sort of angle, but this is. It was just really, really tight. It's the only way I can really describe it. There was so much wax in there. It was basically too wide for it to comfortably come out of the ear. So you're going to see a lot of wiggling in this one because you just kind of start seeing it kind of slowly shifting out. And obviously without any spoilers, we do end up breaking it up, and it does start to come out in little pieces.
I do find these are hard ones, and when the entrance is really narrow, the wax goes hard as a rock.
And it's been a few years since this patient's had wax removal last as well, and I have advised quite heavily regular checkups because I don't want to be put in this position again, to be honest, because this was really difficult. Now, quite surprisingly, I managed to get, this is the standard size tube, and I honestly didn't expect me to even get close to this with the standard size, just purely because what we tend to risk is like a yeah, that's the word I was thinking, vacuum bags. And you get like a vacuum bag where you get the suction in, it goes whoosh. Yeah. It's the same thing in the ear. If you block up the ear too much with your endoscope and the suction tube, it causes that bit of a seal, and it can be really painful actually. And that's what I was worried about. But we didn't actually get it. Or the patient didn't actually report any discomfort or pain, so that was good. So I'm glad, because the fine end would have done absolutely nothing to this.
This is it. I was editing this the other day, and I was like, "Oh my goodness me! I'm glad I didn't get this one, because it was just so narrow." Like
these little thin pieces here. I'm surprised I even got a grip on it. Yeah. To be honest, because I thought, are we going to do this? But you will see right at the end, if you're sort of eagle-eyed, if you look at the eardrum behind the piece of wax, the last bit of wax that we remove, you can almost kind of see the eardrum flexing slightly. But again, I was always checking with the patient, like, look how narrow that is.
That's tiny, isn't it?
I'm having to literally hold this open with the camera.
And the thing is, you can't go in too deep either. You've always got to sit just behind those little hairs there, and just so you can accommodate the other tool in, isn't it? It's just they're beasties.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pain. So she was really desperate, bless her, this patient. She was like, I'm really hoping you can get this out today. She said, 'cause I can't cope with it any longer.
Wow.
You can just kind of see just by looking at the wax. I mean, if you've watched the channel quite often, you can usually, I would imagine you would tell now the difference between a really old type of wax and a newer sort of like fresher type of wax.
On the note, if you're watching the channel, if you are watching the video and you do enjoy it, I'll check it in now because I always forget to do it at the end. You can always like, heart, share, follow and subscribe, guys. If you really, really enjoy the videos, you can also consider becoming members of the channel. You get to see even more videos every single week, like tomorrow's video, which is members only. So make sure you check that out as well for me. There, that's my bit there.
Spiel.
It's my spiel. My work here is done. Mic drop out. There you go.
Don't leave.
No, you're right. You're safe. I'm seeing what it is.
I know.
It's nice to actually have someone. I was sat there to do take care of yourselves, take care of your ears and all that bit at the end.
Do you just freeze for like
Do you know what?
10 seconds?
I do the first bit because I'm used to the first bit. Saying the second bit sounds really alien because that's you as your job. I'm like, take care of yourselves. Oh yeah, take care of your ears and take care of one another.
I was saying it, but I was just saying it. We were
just
telepathically
linked,
connected.
yeah.
So you can see it's just coming out in like little blocks, and I'm glad in a way because I honestly thought this was going to be one big solid piece of wax, which would have been even harder to remove.
Yeah. So the worst bit is if you get a really hard bit with these narrow canals and you draw it down and it's too wide to fit out the ear canal and it sits right in the entrance and then you've lost some of your ability to hold the canal open because basically the endoscope is like there with the wax, so it's right against the wax.
God, look at this. You can just see, I mean, if you've ever seen one of these suction tubes in person, it looks really big on the camera, but they are, do you know what the diameter of them is? Is it like, it's not big, is it? It's probably
I don't know.
3 mil, is it?
I'll have to get one out and have a little look. I can't remember. I should know. I think it's less than that.
Less than that?
I think it's less than that. Yeah, I think it's about
tiny.
I think the fine end is 0.8. And I want to say these are 1.8 mil. I want to say that's stuck in my head for some reason. I don't know why, but I'll have to double check.
But they are tiny, and you can just see like the ear canal walls are almost touching, both sides of the suction tube. It's that small. So we are getting there. We're almost there. I'm really, giving this a good old wiggle. Yeah. And again, we are being quite lucky with this, to be fair, because I honestly thought this was going to be a lot harder than what it actually was.
Yeah. If it was solid, that would be a totally different story. But luckily, it's crumbly enough that you're breaking bits off, isn't it?
Yeah. We can see the eardrum in the distance here now. A couple of little bits left. At this point, I was saying to the patient, we're almost there. We're on the home stretch. I think it's the next piece here now. If you kind of look at the top part of the eardrum, I got the fine end on here now for these little bits, but even with the fine end, you'll see a little bit of like flex into the eardrum. Is it this bit? There we are. Did you see it kind of pull back in then?
That pars flat for the reason, just for the region.
So there's for that tiny little ear canal, like 3 centimeters worth of wax there. It was pretty decent.
Inch and a half.
Inch and a half.
See if that's my bit done. So see again, you've got tailor green for the next couple of days because you've done all my videos. I think they got a bit bored of just me talking about wax. I think they prefer it when we kind of go off topic a little bit.
Oh, it does break it up a little bit, doesn't it? Because you're just repeating yourself. Otherwise, just wax is wax. It's just the same thing every time, just a different ear canal.
That's how you like horror films, don't you?
I do like a horror film.
Have you seen Heretic?
Yes.
I really enjoyed Heretic. Well, we had to watch it over 2 nights.
Oh.
Because Leah got me tired. So the first half I watched, I thought, I'm loving this. This is a bit of me, this is. And then the second half, I was like,
I wish I watched it all in one night now.
That's it. I wasn't as fast on the second bit.
So this was a relatively simple one. Just patient was feeling a little bit blocked up with the wax, and it was nice and soft. It's just doing a little bit of tidying up now. These little tiny spots, I mean, this is, we're going to try and get as much of this away as we can, but like these little tiny spots, if it's your first time watching our videos, you'll never see 100% completely spotless ear canals, because some of them are quite messy, like this one, where, the patient has used a little bit of oil, some drops, or, sometimes more of an aggressive type of wax remover, which will melt the wax essentially. Always very difficult to 100% completely clear out of the ear. But you do need a bit of wax in there, though. You do need a little bit of wax inside your ears.
Lots of people say that you drive my OCD crazy because you leave little tiny bits behind. Unfortunately, it's because we want that ear to be healthy, and sometimes to remove those tiny little spots, which is not going to make any difference to their general ear health or hearing, but to remove those tiny little spots, you've got to press so hard on the canal wall, or literally scrape the canal wall, and that would just be so uncomfortable that it's not worth doing. I wouldn't be comfortable doing that anyway. So little tiny bits are absolutely fine, and don't forget, they look like this because the ear canal's been full of wax. Next time that person has a bath or a shower, this is just going to flush those tiny little bits out.
the patient's hearing so much better, which is our end goal.
Exactly.
Making
right.
sure everything's
Exactly
healthy
right.
and making sure they can hear better.
And it was done comfortably and safely, which is also a massive, massive goal as well. I just realised I set the light up to shine us and didn't turn it on. Never mind. Well, guys,
this is you're not seeing us under like a golden sort of.
this is me and Taylor with our natural kind of pasty selves. No, you're not so. You just go back from holiday.
Well, I think my tan is starting to go already. I don't have much of a tan.
I still got a little bit of one, but not much left.
Yeah, I don't really tan.
You?
Yeah, probably. I don't tan very much. I got really fair skin and I tend to burn.
I go terrible.
I go white, red, and back to white.
I go
usually.
Blue, white, red, blue. I don't tend to go back to sort of, yeah, it's natural kind of Welsh skin, I think. Well, guys, that was a half an inch.
Centimetre.
There you go. So myself and the lovely Mr. Taylor Green will see you for the members video if you're members tomorrow. Other than that, we shall see you subscribers on Friday for your video as well. But as always, guys, take care of yourselves.
Take care of your ears.
And take care of one another. Myself and the lovely Mr. Taylor Green will see you again soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.